Hello, welcome to the stream. The stream is happening on Friday. It is March 29th. I have too many mics on. March 29th. Welcome, everybody. We will take your calls. We will talk about all the news of the day in the world of politics. But I want to start with this. I want to ask a question that has been asked on the internet for a while now. But it needs to be asked right now. What in the hell happened to Matt Drudge? What's going on? What's going on with the Drudge Report? It looks like the Drudge Report, but Matt Drudge hailing Bill Clinton? What? There were few, more like cemented things in my mind than Matt Drudge sitting in his Miami Beach apartment with nothing but an internet connection, torturing the Clinton White House. It's one of my favorite stories of the internet. I have called Matt Drudge the most important journalist of his generation. Because if the point of journalism is speaking truth to power, nobody else did it from lower and affected more higher than Matt Drudge. And I don't think it came with a tremendous amount of effort, but much in the same way that, doesn't take a lot of effort for the boy in the Emperor's New Clothes to say, hey, I can see that dude's balls. It just matters because it was kind of a division bell of a time past and a time before. Media was forever changed from that one moment. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Matt Drudge was the person, the Drudge Report was the website that broke the Monica Lewinsky scandal. More specifically, Matt Drudge revealed that there was a spiked Newsweek article about Bill Clinton having an affair with Monica Lewinsky. And as soon as that genie was out of the bottle, it couldn't be put back in. This was a gigantic change in the world of media where, everybody in DC could know that this Newsweek article got spiked. Everybody in politics could know, but the world wouldn't know. Well, now the world was going to know for everything. But it's like, at a certain point, the Drudge Report went from supporting Donald Trump to not supporting Donald Trump. And now it's just kind of become, like everything else, which is a shame. Because, classic Drudge Report was its own animal. But it's like, look at even the stuff here, it's like, oh, Ronna McDaniel, he's already, he's going with this, oh, the RNC is waiting, limiting access to NBC at the convention. The ancient volatile Christian ideas between Trump's obsession with blood. This is MSNBC stuff. Sotomayor should retire now. The rise and fall of the trad wife. What the hell is going? What happened to House of Filth? House of Filth. If I were to go back and look at the old formula of the Drudge Report, it was up to the second breaking news. Like the Drudge siren mattered. Up to the second breaking news, vitriolic Republican politics. Like we're talking Alex Jones, Gateway Pundit, that kind of level stuff. In fact, I think I probably found out about those two websites from the Drudge Report because the Drudge Report would link to them. And then, like, probably for a time, a best in the world eye for, like, news of the weird. But one of the more famous things that he would do is have, like, House of Filth. And it would just be, like, some hoarder's house. Woman was 700 pounds. You know, there's 14 dead dogs that were just underneath pizza containers, that kind of stuff. But now it's just like, you know, we had Armin Rosen on the show of Tablet Magazine that he insinuates that it was sold. That the Matt Drudge we knew is out the game. Sold it, got a pretty penny, was not a public transaction, got the fuck out. And he's done. And I prefer to live in that reality. I prefer to believe that Matt Drudge just, you know, ran a blog, sold the blog, got the hell out, but didn't want it to be, I mean, I don't think anybody would have benefited from saying that it was a sale, but there's no denying that, like, this is a very different website. Drudge's hate for 45 outweighs his taste for 42. I mean, that's like saying, like, oh, Clayface slashed Lex Luthor's tires and now he doesn't hate Superman anymore. Like, what are we talking? It's Bill Clinton and Matt Drudge. I mean, like, what are we even doing? I'd love to see a conversation with the two of them. That'd be great. If Matt Drudge is still Matt Drudge. But I guess that's also part of his mystique, right? Is that he is a bit of a man of mystery. Superman is running LexCorp in the comics right now. Is Lex still alive? I don't know. I have not read current Superman. What did Matt Drudge say about the Wildflowers in 2004? A very funny episode of The Bones for the Night Attack patrons yesterday, including the fact that we were having a absolutely gorgeous wildflower season here in Texas, the best that I've ever seen, bar none. It was apparently a conversation between Brian and Bonnie about whether or not it was the best that they had ever seen, at which point Bonnie was had a very strident take that 2004 was the best. And so a lot of pretty much emptying the file on everything that I remembered about 2004. If Bill Clinton was still Bill Clinton. I think Bill Clinton is still Bill Clinton. You know, I think he's taking a step back from the public perception, but I would still say Bill Clinton's got a very sharp mind. I would love, oh God, unfiltered. I would love to know how Bill Clinton sizes up this particular race. I would love to know that. I'm excited for the eclipse. Hell yeah, I'm excited for the eclipse. Because I'm going to head on over to foundersdayeclipse.com. There we go. Come on over. Yeah, guys, this is a once in a lifetime event where we are going to have just amazing people and an amazing moment, man. The eclipse is going to happen, but the Founders Day picnic has happened every year. It is always an absolutely good time, and this year it's going to be even better because we are going to give you a real gift. Now, the eclipse is going to happen. It's going to be amazing. But the worst part about the eclipse, for anybody who's gone to one, is that you got to drive somewhere and then drive back. And that drive is multiplied by like a billion. So what if we just put all of our entertainment on the backside of that eclipse and you actually just had a good time? Imagine the eclipse was just all fun the entire time. Oh my God. This is an amazing value. And I know a lot of people are going to be coming in next week. We're going to go to see Josie's band on Saturday. We'll do a little pub crawl through downtown. And then Sunday night, we have a VIP event. That's going to be an amazing experience. And then Monday, Eclipse Day. Holy shit. Are you kidding me? There really was a God, you gotta be fucking kidding me. All right, yeah. Shut up. In the spring, traveling in Texas is all about the wildflowers as roadsides explode with the vivid orange, red of Indian paintbrushes, the yellow of primroses, and the rich signature blue of the bluebonnets. The pavement explodes too with thousands of carloads of bloom besotted rubberneckers drinking in the beauty and slowing down traffic. Go back to fucking writer's school, Simon. Bloom besotted rubberneckers. Apparently, they didn't invent editors at the New York Times until 2005. And get the fuck out. Pulling out of the parking lot of American Legion Post 40 in Gonzales, blissfully reflecting on the slow-cooked brisket sandwich just consumed at H&P BBQ and Home Cooking, $5 and includes a Dr. Pepper. You might find yourself thinking that this tour should also be about the barbecue, but snap back to attention. There are miles of color-carpeted meadows ahead. For wildflower tourists, business logically begins in Austin, where guides, maps, and databases at the Lady Bird Johnson Wildflower Center burst with floral information, and the bar of the 19th century Driscoll Hotel provides a good spot to relax and plan an itinerary. It doesn't. Well, I don't know. In 2004, I guess it was a little sleepier. There might have been parking on the street down on 6th Street where the Driscoll is, but now it would be a really annoying place to just stop in. Built by cattle barons, the hotel retains the frontier feel down to its cowhide sofas and mounted longhorns. In 1934, Lyndon Baines Johnson and Claudia Altell Taylor, better known as Lady Bird, would emerge as champions of the Texas wildflower, had their first date there. All right, I got to send this to Brian. All right, hold on. Ryan Bunny. I will give updates as they come in. Oh, should we read it as Ira Glass? Yeah, we can read it as Ira Glass. All right, here we go. For the Texans who see more on the roadsides than the vistas, the serious business is valued at millions of dollars a year, materializing in a robust revenues for hotels, bed and breakfasts, restaurants, and impromptu entrepreneurs like the people who sell photos of wildflowers at popular roadside viewing points. It's like Six Flags, but it doesn't cost as much, said Bill Powell, a spokesman for the Texas Department of Transportation. The traveler's preparations are simple: a full gas tank, a camera, and a guide of Wildflowers of Texas by Giata Agivista, or a similar guide. Speaking of things that would have been more helpful in 2004, an impression of Ira Glass. Have you watched any of the X-Men 97 cartoon? So far, it encapsulates the nostalgia for 90s kids. You know, I have not, but I was expecting it to get fucking shredded because the showrunner was like a parody of the kind of folks that have made terrible Marvel products over the last few years. But, you know, it seems like everybody, I haven't heard a lot of like, oh, it sucks because it's so woke kind of stuff. And if that's not the case, then yeah, I'll give it a roll. I mean, the stuff that I've seen is cool. Seems good. I saw Jean Grey goes evil. That's awesome. That's always when she's the most interesting. You know, Jean Grey tends to be either very scared or very evil, which is usually the sign that they can't write a good character in adaptations. And I'm not talking about the comics. I'm talking about adaptations like movies and stuff like that. It's so good, I worry about the next season now that he's gone. Well, the way that animation works, like, they might already be rolling, like, producing the second season. You know, especially for a big project like that, it was probably like a 3-season order. Like, it's very, very hard to spin up an animation thing and then restart it. You know, you just got to keep going. That's why, like, cartoons last forever. You got fired for not making the show woke trash. Didn't, but like, maybe I'm thinking of somebody else, but like, wasn't he like super parody woke? Like he was like normalizing OnlyFans, like posting like thirst traps. I would make the argument that it, you know, a lot can happen when you are dealing with a big property like that. You know, maybe the showrunner wasn't exactly running the show. He's a black gay dude, but he respects the source material. Then maybe I was uninformed on that. Yeah, well, I mean, I think the funny thing is have you not seen the show yet? It's as woke as the 90s X-Men was already. I think that would be a good thing to go to, is if you were like, you would probably have consensus if you just said, make things that are only as woke as the 90s X-Men cartoon. If that's the cap, I think everybody in comics fandom would probably be happy. Like 90s woke, 90s woke would be, like Ellen coming out, the first gay marriages in like New Hampshire and shit like that. That's like 90s woke. Like Do the Right Thing came out in the 90s. It wasn't like it was devoid of racial politics. Jerry, your beach standards are all fucked up. Harry Lee Smith, thank you for joining the show this morning. I know it takes a little time to click on some links and be here. I genuinely appreciate your company, and I'm here to tell you that you deserve more. You deserve more than what society has made you believe you should expect. You deserve true happiness, and I hope you find it. And when you find it, you're going to find that it feels a lot like a beach. And by a beach, I mean a real beach. A beach that has hot sand that makes your feet feel all nice and tingly. You get into the water and it just envelops you. Like the amniotic fluid that we all came from, you are reminded that the ocean loves you. And you can love it back. That's what I want for you. What I don't want is this stepped on, counterfeit, false equivalent of a beach. What hucksters like to peddle as a beach with cold water, cold sand, and some even trying to pass off the edge of a lake as a beach. No. Friends, you can have fun in all of those places. I had fun last weekend. Went down to the Texas coast. It had waves. I enjoyed that. I peed in the ocean. Like not by getting in, just kind of into the waves. But other than that, I'm not going to call it what it's not. It's not a beach. It's a coast. I've had fun by the side of a lake. I called it a lake. Didn't call it a beach because it's not one. You deserve a real beach. Don't let anybody tell you different, least of all yourself. We'll be right back. On a very hot day, don't you want a cooler ocean to feel refreshed? Well, the ocean's always going to be colder than the weather. So if it's 100 degrees out and it's 80 degrees in the water, then it's a 20-degree difference. You do feel refreshed. See, this is what everybody gets all in their feelings. Everybody tells on themselves when they call me a bully or a bigot or something like that. This is people who, again, all I want for you is to experience what you know you deserve. Don't let anyone tell you that you don't deserve the best. You do. You live in the greatest country in the world, and you can find it. You can find it in other countries too. Other countries have really cool beaches, but still, you should find it. Many of you are Americans. Most of you are Americans. You can find it. You can find that warm beach. Hey, by the way, you want to know who doesn't have any of this shit? People who come from Northern Europe, where all the beaches suck ass. They don't even pretend to say that the beach is good, right? They come down to Florida and they love it because they understand. Anywhere that is sand and water is a beach in my books is old growth canopy. See, this is what they have conditioned. See this? See this? This is what they've conditioned us to be. They've allowed us to degrade our standards. We stand amidst paradise, and yet, because we want to sand down our ambition, because we want to maybe not offend people, we say, oh no, you can make a little thing no. Dream big, you will get bigger rewards. That is what America was built on. Not a promise of something that might happen, not a minimum viable product. No, America is about big, fast, stupid speed and excellence. The number one shit on the planet. That's it. Big tits, hard dicks. America is number one. That's what we're about. And when you talk about beaches, you talk about some of the best beaches in the goddamn world here in America. That's what it's about. And not anywhere where there's sand and water. Again, there's other words. I'm not, and whenever anybody gets, oh, you're a bully, you're a bigot, they think that I don't like these other places. I like a coast. I can have a good time. I can have a good time lakeside. I can have a good time. It's fine. It's just not a beach. It's a reverent term. Let's have a little standards. You know? That would be like you go and just say, well, you know, any old girl can be my wife. You go, or any old girl can be my girlfriend. Go tell your significant other that. See how it goes over. See how it goes over. You don't do that because you have standards. You do. And if you don't, you oughta. We'll be right back. I do need a sounder there. I need to put a sounder. We have sounders on this board. Let's see. Oh, shit. I did put sounders on here. I have the Campaign Undertaker. All right, let's put a we could probably put the pole dance on there too. All right, we're gonna need a corporate-y. Commercial, business. Hold on. All right, so let me try this. We'll try out a few, and then we'll just see how it feels. If you don't get your head out of the sand is going to get your head permanently. And those are words to live by. We'll be right back. No. I feel like it needs like it's got to have like a hard start. It's got to have like a wow. All right, that one maybe. Hold on. Let's go back to the beginning. A stitch in time saves 9. And you don't need more than 10 if you want to make sure that you are perfect. That's one to grow on. We'll be right back. That one actually sounds more like a sports show. It sounds like one of those off-brand, like CBS, CBS Sports, like one of those radio shows that they're just like simulcasting. Like that's Ja Morant is still a top 10 player in the league, even if he hasn't played a game. But would you trade him for LeBron? That's coming up. Yeah, okay. Here we go. No. Nope. All right, I think this is it. Also because it's called Anthem of a Quirky Hipster. I love it. I love it. Shout out to Rex Banner. All right, here, we're going to download this one. We're going to see whether or not it works. All right. Just a Roadster Pro. Oh, I might need to download it. Yeah. Yes. Yes. What do you think I'm trying to do, dog? Give me the firmware. Give me the companion app. Come on. No, I don't want to buy the thing that I have. Although it actually looks cool. The new version. Downloads. Yeah. The companion app. Mac. Download it. Hey, what's going on? Why don't you download it? Companion app installer. Deep, deep, deep. Sorry this turned into tech support. Yeah, it was a little marky mark. Okay. Roadster Pro. Yeah, okay. So we're gonna replace that. Clear the pad. Go to downloads. Throw in quirky hipster. All right, here we go. I need something. I need something to rant about. Give me something to rant about. I'm like, this is my daytime TV reel. I'm getting old, guys. I'm getting old. I'm old enough that you might want to take life advice from me. And so if I'm old enough to do that, I can get on daytime TV. I can be there. I'll be the new Dr. Phil. He didn't know shit. I don't know shit either. This is going to be a great career pivot for me. All right. The cost of mice for snakes, pineapple on pizza, coffee drink size names, illegals invading Detroit. Summertime in New England. Okay. This is a great one. If you don't have standards in your life, you will fall for anything. And this starts every moment of the day. That's the hard part. The good part is that you'll be rewarded every second of the day because good habits are momentum. If you wake up on a nice summer in New England, you have a fresh breeze, and you find yourself able to complete more tasks. Do you think that that's a coincidence? That when you're depressed, when the weather is so harsh that you can't get as much done? No. The entire world that you surround yourself with defines your output. And if you don't take charge of that, then it will take charge of you. We'll be right back. Isn't it funny that this is like a quirky hipster anthem because it sounds like all these ads that happened in the 2000s, and now the only thing that I can think of that would be over this is a pharmaceutical. Ask your doctor if Ozempic is right for you. Ozempic has been cleared in trials in all 50 states. It could be covered under your insurance. Look for our full-page ad in Golf Digest for more information. Ozempic has If you stop taking Ozempic, you might go crazy and stab your family. The new Ford Escape. All right, there we go. We'll use that for whenever I get to pontificating. I get all about my pontification. But we should start filling up that board. Oh, is it not loud enough? Oh, you want to roll it up like the producer's trying to get me off? We're trying to hit the ad break. Is Detroit a playoff team? I'm taking the under. I don't believe in Goff. Nor do I think that they're going to have the same schedule that they had last time. This is not an NFC North winning roster as it is constructed. And don't even get me started about Minnesota. Jordan Love is about to take a leap. We'll be right back. Yeah, that's right. Overhead shot that slowly zooms out to like a B-roll of the city skyline. No, you're right. There should be the branded like we'll be back with the DraftKings call-in line. Oh, I could smoke all these hoes. I could get on. I could have a radio show tomorrow. That's how easy that shit is. I can just get out there and do a radio show tomorrow. But nobody cares about radio shows anymore. Like the biggest radio shows are television shows. You know, I mean, really, like Pat McAfee is he's the dude. Dude built a 5-day-a-week product that he sold twice. And he's going to keep selling because whether or not he gets paid by ESPN, someone's going to pay him. FanDuel paid him last time. You know, DraftKings will do it this time or somebody else. He'll get another deal. I could be Moby. You just push buttons. I don't know if I ever said that. I mean, like, in general, I'm being a little hyperbolic here, obviously. I do have the utmost respect for anybody who does that kind of craft. Radio is really, really hard. One mic radio is really, really hard. But that's why I wanted to get good at it. Because one mic radio is lucrative. Like if I had not gotten into one mic radio, we would not be. We would be in a much different situation between Ashley and I. Ashley losing her job would have been a much bigger deal if I had not gotten obsessed with one mic radio at some point in the late aughts. Okay. We will open up Der phone lines. 510 404 8030. Would I take an hour-long show on Newsmax too? What's the rate? What is the rate? Whoever's calling's gonna have to call back again because it is only popping up on my phone. I should really take Skype off my phone. There we go. Mr. Merrill Barr.
Justin Robert Young, how you doing?
What's going on, dude?
Which dumb thing do you want me to rant about first?
You're calling in, so by definition, you have to make that decision.
Fine. Did you see this? Euphoria bullshit from yesterday?
The last thing I saw on Euphoria was that the third season is either canceled or delayed, and that they had released its ever more famous cast to do other stuff. Was there an update past that?
Well, there were details on that. Did you look at any of the details?
No, tell me about it.
Okay, number one is that Sam basically didn't finish the scripts. He had to keep rewriting them because one of his ideas was to essentially move Rue into the background of the show so she would become a private investigator or become a surrogate mother. That was like one of his big ideas.
Okay.
HBO said, "No, we're not doing that." And so
that is the Zendaya character, the main character of the first two seasons.
They're gonna re-explore in October. They're gonna come back to the cast in October to see whether or not they can shoot it. And if they shoot it, it will be a 25-week shoot, which is a ridiculous amount of time because they're also gonna cut the episode amounts to 6 episodes from 8. They're gonna need 20. They need over 4 weeks to shoot a single episode of this fucking show. Like,
he's like crazy and he shoots like live to film.
He's a moron. He doesn't know how to make television. Like, that's where it's at now. Is they're basically trying to figure apparently HBO had wanted to move on from Sam. They wanted to bring in someone else.
This was the rumor post the weekend show.
Yeah, that HBO wanted to cut Sam from Euphoria, and the cast apparently fought against him. If I'm being totally honest, I wouldn't be shocked if the cast fought against HBO on that, because if they keep Sam, they can keep this chaos machine that might never come back can keep not rolling along, and we can continue to make big movies without being tied down to this show. Well, this show still kind of exists. Like, I wouldn't be shocked if it was a play, just, keep the show kind of rolling, but not rolling.
No, look, they're going to support the guy because he made a show that made a lot of them famous. So they will support the person that put him on. That's I think.
But everything we've heard indicates that maybe it's not a great experience.
What do you? I mean, now we're I don't know that at the end of the day, the easiest thing to understand is a lot of them weren't famous. They became famous. They like the show, and the show's really popular. Show gets huge ratings. The show is something that they culturally broke through, a television show that kind of reached Gen Z in a way that not a lot of television shows do. So of course you would want to keep doing it. Now, I think for a lot of that cast, they're doing big movies. Now, the reason why people are like, oh, well, the cast is getting expensive. No, the reason why they're going to keep doing Euphoria is to work through whatever that cast signed their contracts for. So I would usually it's like 3 or 4 seasons. That's usually what, especially for a young cast, that you are signing on for. And right now, if HBO can get another season and a half starring Zendaya and Sydney Sweeney and Jacob Elordi or whatever, like, those are all big players now. That would be a big deal. That would be a star-studded cast for them. So they will do it it is just, we've heard a lot, obviously, of behind the scenes drama with Sam Levinson, you know, having specific and ever changing creative whims.
Moving on to the next thing. It's WrestleMania week, baby. You gonna watch?
It would require me signing up for Peacock again.
Only for one more year, and then next year you can VPN to Australia and watch it on Netflix.
Wait, no, but Netflix is Netflix getting the whole pay-per-view package?
So Netflix is getting all internationally. Netflix is getting the whole package.
Oh, internationally, yes.
So you set up a VPN,
but we don't know where it's going to go domestically.
Domestically, it's still on domestically. Raw goes to Netflix. Everything else stays where it is. SmackDown goes to USA. PLE stay on Peacock until those deals are up. And then the talk is that Netflix is just going to get all the rights as they come up.
I mean, yeah. I guess if Netflix is in for a penny, in for a pound. They couldn't get that. They couldn't get that Vince McMahon doc out. So now that one's going to be dead.
Have you been tracking anything in the lead up? Because I'm loving it all right now.
I have not. I've watched what's on Reddit, but things have been a little busy.
The Rock beatdown from Monday? I
saw on the clips on Reddit, but I have not been following it particularly closely.
All right, well, it's really good. All right, moving on from that, I'm gonna do a rant and then I will leave. Last night I went to see Godzilla Kong.
Okay.
Fun movie, my kind of stupid. Big fan, everyone should see it. If you want to see the big lizard and the big ape fight other things.
Who are they? Yeah, who are they fighting? Who's the bad guy?
So that's too many. This is in the trailer, although you just don't know his name. There's a whole tribe of big apes in Hollow Earth.
Okay.
And one of them is called the Scar King. And he wants to break through to the surface and take over the world.
Gotcha. And so they have to team up to fight the Scar King.
Yeah, what's really interesting is it's really basically just a Kong movie that Godzilla happens to be in. Like, that's the most, story-wise, that's the really interesting piece of it. But it's
well, haven't all those movies kind of always been Kong movies? Because, I mean, he's the one, like, he got the cool axe in the last one. Like, it seems like they just really care a lot more about Kong than they do about Godzilla.
I mean, there's only been one of them. Like,
well, no. Well, they had the Godzilla movie, they had a Kong movie. The Kong movie was good, and then they had Godzilla versus Kong, but that was more. It felt like more of a Kong movie, and then this one is more of a Kong movie. I think they just like Kong.
I actually felt like the last one was more of a Godzilla movie, but you could see where you could lean toward it being a Kong movie. But this one's definitely a Kong movie through and through. Like, but I'm not calling about the movie. I'm calling about the fucking asshole next to me in the theater who coughed his way through the entire fucking movie while lip smacking away at his goddamn bucket of popcorn. And it's like, you know what? Yes, keep telling me that the theatrical experience is superior when I have to sit next to this motherfucker the entire goddamn movie just fucking making everything miserable. Like, we don't know how to be people, man. We stopped knowing how to be people in these spaces.
Where to start? Look, people coughing in public spaces obviously has a different...
no, not like once or twice. The whole movie.
I mean, understood, right? And obviously none of us were there, so we'll take your word for it. But coughing in public spaces is something that has taken on a new, heightened thing post-COVID. I don't know why, you're like, are you someone who's very, very sensitive to mouth noises in general?
Yes.
Yeah. So why would you go to a movie opening night if you know it's going to drive you nuts?
I've never run into it like at this. I run into like people with being annoying with their phones or their watches and shit at the movie theater. And it's like, that's annoying. This is actually my first ever like mouth noiser person experience on opening night. Genuinely.
Yeah.
I usually have good luck at the movies. This is a rare experience where I did not have good luck at the movies.
So this is an anomaly.
Yeah, but it was
that you are now saying is indicative of society.
It was my first time back to the movies in that AMC in I think a year, because the last time I was at the movies at all was for Iron Claw, and that was a Draft House. Like, it just was really frustrating, the whole movie, to deal with this.
Well, thank you for your service.
Do you have any interest in seeing Kong Godzilla?
No.
Oh.
Well, not in theaters. I mean, again, you got to understand, man, when you're in when you're a married man, like these things, they're not like, if I were just a single dude in my 20s, would I go see Kong Godzilla? Yeah. Would I be more into wrangling up a few friends and being like, let's go walk and see Kong Godzilla? Like, absolutely, I'd be that dude. But now, you got to run shit through Parliament. There's a lot of ideas that I have for laws that just ain't going to clear the committee.
What are you excited for that you're likely to see in theaters in the next, say, 6 weeks?
Yeah, I don't know what comes out in 6 weeks.
Besides Civil War. We all know you really want to see Civil War, man.
Civil War, yeah, I don't know. I if it becomes a discourse movie, I will go see it. I don't know. The next one that would like be for sure get us in the Dune 2 was one of them. And we did do that.
What about that Zendaya tennis movie where she makes the two boys fight for her romantically?
Well, I think she does more than that with the two boys, according to the trailer. Yeah, Ashley's, if it breaks through on Ashley's TikTok, there's a lot more leeway that we got. And other than that, like, it is the kind of standard fare nerd movie. So it's like probably Deadpool. Deadpool will be the next one. We've seen both those in theaters. But I don't know. I don't know what else is like the big ticket thing. Oh, Mad Max. We'll probably go see
Furiosa.
The Mad Max one.
And before I'm out, to answer what you were questioning earlier regarding the XMen showrunner, since you brought up Marvel.
Yes.
What happened was he did have he had a non-nude OnlyFans where he was just being all like, look how jacked I am shit. And it was public, it was known. The reports, we still have a lot of vagaries because no one's come out, there hasn't been a huge write-up yet, but everything is pointing to he was a really fucking wild and yelly, toxic type showrunner. Just your typical, he didn't do anything sexual. It's just a lot of like
megalomaniac.
Yeah, kind of. It's another Sam Levinson. Like, that seems to be the reports. Those are all unconfirmed right now. It is weird how he got axed and the timing in which.
Yeah, normally that would happen very quietly, and it happened like in the middle of their press rollout, which makes
It literally happened the day before the premiere. Of the show, not the day of the streaming premiere, but the day they were going to do their big screening premiere in LA. That's when he got shit canned. Was like the day before that, and that's when like that you don't do it unless something's gone hard.
Wasn't he very? He was very combative online too, right? There was something that I was reading to that effect, and it wasn't from like a cultural critic kind of source. It was more of like a trade source.
Yes, he was very online in general, but I don't think that inherently was the problem because that was happening the whole time.
If that's a problem, then none of Hollywood works. If people
that's
being
been
too
happening
online,
the whole time.
yeah.
I think there was stuff happening in behind the scenes that like hasn't fully come out yet, and whether or not it will is because that dude was involved in a lot of Marvel projects. It wasn't just the X-Men show. He was writing a few of the movies.
Yeah,
he was writing Blade. I think it was. That was it.
Oh, yeah, but was it the Blade one that got made fun of? The one that was apparently like more about Blade's granddaughter or something?
Well, I didn't know this, but apparently the Blade movie was always going to be a period piece.
What are we doing? How you can't fuck up Blade. Number one, here's an idea. I love Mahershala Ali. I think he's a fantastic actor. salute to him. Bring back Wesley. Wesley can still go. Wesley can still fucking go. Number 2, even if you don't bring back Wesley, Blade is like if John Shaft was Indiana Jones, but he knows martial arts and he kills people with a katana and he does nothing but fight an endless army of vampires that are secretly in charge of the world. Like, there's a million ways you can take this that are amazing. None of them involve family trauma beyond like what happened to my mother. That's it. That's as much family trauma that you really need with Blade. Otherwise, just a door ripping action adventure with the coolest motherfucker on the planet. I mean, it's simple.
Yeah, they were going to do a period piece about him and his history with the Ebony Sword. That was going to be the original plan.
Oh, and that's why they tease that at the end of the Elementals or whatever.
Yeah. Wow, I can't remember the name. I was going to make fun of you, and I can't remember the fucking name.
The Ellerings, the Linda Ellerbys.
I keep wanting to say it's the Immortals, but it's not.
The Eternals.
Yeah. Eternals. Holy shit! Wow. That movie just lost all cultural consciousness. Jesus Christ.
Well, and they also kind of, this has been my problem, beyond any of the other Marvel stuff. Like, if you're doing a big arc that will involve the following things: Secret War, which will likely bring back a ton of old people and involve the multiverse, and Fantastic Four, which I'm going to probably assume either the first or second Fantastic Four movie is going to involve Galactus. Then what you want to do is protect the coolness of people popping out of portals that you aren't expecting and gigantic creatures that could eat Earth. Om nom nom. They've done all of that shit in like way lamer ways than they're eventually going to with these big reveals. Like, at some point, Robert Downey Jr. is going to walk through a portal as Tony Stark. And that's going to be great. And everyone's going to scream and yell in the theater. It's going to be a really, really fun time. And it'll be his return to Marvel for 5 seconds, and it'll be great, right? Like, but if you have Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield and everybody else, and they're all walking through portals, and all we're doing is going back and forth, we have an entire Loki series where we're just going back and forth between everything. It's like, okay, well, that's less special. If you have Eternals, where you have nothing but like 9 gigantic dudes that could eat up Earth, om nom nom, then Galactus is just less special. You're like, wait, is he the same as that one guy that's popping out of the Earth that nobody's referenced in any of the television shows or movies? I don't know.
I mean, I was still amazed they haven't referenced that yet, because in the comics, isn't that thing supposed to be the Avengers base? Like that Celestial?
I don't know.
All right. I'm going to stop tying up the time. Before I go, one last word. Boobs. See ya. Bye.
See ya. Proud boob enjoyer. Meryl Barm. Stand tall. Stand tall, friend. Fight for what you believe in. Boobs. Hello, who's this?
This is Ryan from Oregon. How are you?
Hi, Ryan from Oregon. What's poppin'?
Okay, so here's how we get Andrew Heaton into hip hop.
Okay.
What do you think about the album Blazing Arrow by Black Alicious?
I love it. I don't know. All right, here's everything I know about Andrew Heaton and hip hop. When I've done songs during karaoke with Heaton that he hasn't known, the only one that he has reacted to positively was when I did All Falls Down by Kanye. He was like, "That's Kanye West?" So that's it.
Okay.
So I don't know what he would find the most exciting. I don't know if it is the lyrical dexterity of that album, that Black Alicious album. I don't know if it is the more evocative lyricism of, you know, some of that aughts kind of like conscious rap.
Yeah.
I don't know if it would be the. I don't think. I think what he is definitely not into is the gun, drug. I fucked your bitch. Kind of like trap aesthetic.
Exactly. I'm thinking it's more, you know, sonically pleasurable. It's got a lot of like soul to it. You know, I feel like there's a lot of like musicality in it where like there is good singing on that album. That's the kind of things that could draw him in.
Yeah.
Kretz, you know, I mean,
Kretz in the chat says Heaton probably knows all the words to Crazy Rap by Afro Man. He does not, but I do, and so does Heaton's girlfriend. Me and Heaton's girlfriend did Crazy Rap by Afro Man.
Nice.
Anyway, so what would you recommend? So you would say like go with the super impressive lyricality of Blazing Arrow, but like let's not start with a album. Let's start with a song. Can we get him hooked on a hip hop song? What would you say? You only got one song to please the Heats.
Only one to hook him.
Yeah.
You know, it's really the thing. And so, well, you got to apply to his sci-fi side, maybe his humor side, maybe a little bit. I'm not really sure how you do that in the world of authentic hip hop.
I mean, I would say Deltron 3030 is probably the only sci-fi hip hop album that is legitimately like not just a gimmick.
I mean,
because there's a lot of hip hop albums that
statement.
have like rappers around it, like that. It's like you are in a sci-fi world, and then it's just rap songs in between. It's like we're on a space station, and then it's like then it's just a rap. Yeah, it's just a rap song.
Huh.
Yeah, MC Chris. I mean, there's a lot of nerd rap. Do we try to get him into nerdcore, or is it MC Frontalot? If we're gonna go full, here's an entire album about science fiction shit that you like, we could just nerdcore his ass.
True. I mean, like that is definitely a gateway drug for white nerds into hip hop. So if you're gonna go MC Frontalot, then I would say like We Form the Head.
I don't think we can start. I'm vetoing nerdcore for now. I think he might really be into nerdcore, but I don't think that there's one nerdcore song that he would be like, yes, now I'm into hip hop. I think he would be more into the thing that they're referencing.
That's very true.
He'd be like, I want to watch Voyager again because I heard this song, but he's not going to be like, I like hip hop.
I'm not sure I have the key to that particular roller skate. If I can think of something, I'll make sure and follow it up in the chat. Hey, thanks for all you do, and I'm going to let you go.
Well, thank you, sir. Have a good day. Bye-bye. There we go. I'll send it to him. I'll send it to his ass right now. If we can find the one hip-hop song. I almost feel like it's like if we gave him a song that was by somebody that like he would recognize or has heard, right? Some hip hop person that he could be like, oh, I listened to a song by blah, and everybody would know it, but that has a little bit of that pop culture sprinkling on top, a little bit. Yeah, Aesop, Atmosphere. I mean, again, we're thinking two levels deep, right? It's like people that are into Aesop and Atmosphere usually kind of heard other hip hop first, and then they're like, this is not quite what I like. I like this thing here. But you got to have the bass. You got to lay down the bass before you get. Action Bronson might be, but what's the Action Bronson song? What's the Action Bronson song? Who's this?
Hey, it's Bro in Oklahoma City.
What up? How you feeling, brother?
I'm feeling good today.
Good.
Good today.
Good. Celebrate the good days.
Indeed. And wholeheartedly endorse your promotion of the the Eclipse. Y'all enjoy the hell out of that for me there.
Oh, we will. We
Uh,
will. We will.
I think you're missing the boat though on this whole thing with Heaton and hip hop.
Okay.
There is an obvious choice to me
Okay.
for what song you go with for this, because you got to remember that you're approaching it from the side of the folks who are fully into hip hop. You're not approaching it from the side of the people who are fully nerds. And in that
Okay.
regard, the seemingly obvious choice to me is White and Nerdy by Weird Al Yankovic.
I mean, but he's probably heard that.
Yes, but this
We would not
allows
be
you to
turning him
control-
on to Weird Al. He's a 40-year-old white man. Trust me, he's aware.
No, I know. Oh, he's aware. You're absolutely right. He's absolutely aware. But if you're looking for something that's actually a decent hip hop song,
Well,
White
it's a
and Nerdy's not
parody
bad.
of a hip hop song. I mean, like, it's literally it's a parody of Riding Dirty.
Right. Oh no, I know what it is.
Yeah.
My point is, just because something is absolutely a parody does not mean that it's not.
I'm with
Quality.
you. I just don't know if we are entering into anything that he has not already heard. If I sent him White and Nerdy, he'd be like, "LOL, yes, I liked that song too." Like, I'm not giving him something that he's never heard before, and that's the goal. The goal is to give him something that he's never heard before.
That's fair.
Because otherwise, I'm just playing a song that he's probably heard, and he's like, "Yes," and I'm like, "Yeah, but think about it. Why do you like it?"
Would you go heavy pop culture and say Beastie Boys?
Again, I think that we need to think songs. That there
I know.
needs to be a song. So it's like, would I go Beastie Boys? Of course, Beastie Boys are probably one of my favorite artists of all time. But do you go like a boom bap kind of thing? Do you go something that is like a sonic journey, like on Paul's Boutique? Also, Heaton, he's not Amish. He's just from Oklahoma. So it's like, I think he's probably heard any big Beastie Boy song he's probably heard before.
Trust me, they've heard it here. Trust me.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then, I don't know. I would think you go obvious, but you're raising valid points on that one. So
Yeah.
never mind.
No, I'll tell you. No. Good. Look, we're keeping we're keeping everything fresh. No bad ideas. Call me now, brainstorming with me, 510-404-8030. We're going to send one hip hop song to Heaton by the end of the stream. Thank you for calling in, Bo. Feel better.
Hey, you're welcome, man. Have a good one.
All right, bye. Mos Def comes to mind. Sure. So what are we thinking? Miss Fat Booty? I know I can't afford to stop, but I love you. Yes, you do. I'm putting that on the short list. Miss Fat Booty. Let me start a little thing here. Songs to get Heaton into hip hop. Most Def, Miss Fat Booty. And I would say think singles. Like, let's not think deep cuts. Let's think singles. Singles are popular for a reason. Rapture by Blondie. Miss Jackson by Outkast. Okay. I mean, if I'm going Outkast, I might be inclined to hit him with like AT Aliens, Elevators, right? Like Me and you, your mama and your cousin too. Rolling down the strip on Vogues, coming up, slamming Cadillac doors. Doo 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 doo. I mean, like, cause the production there is just so rich and so amazing, and the rapping is prime Outcast, right? It's like the single that made Outcast. So before you get into Stankonia or Miss Jackson or anything like that, like, I don't know, Elevators. I'm gonna put Elevators on there. Gravel Pit. By Wu-Tang. Get him into Diddy. Yeah. Stankonia's peak Outcast. Well, I mean, number one, we can all agree to disagree. Stankonia was the album that I love the most and the album that I saw him on tour with. In fact, I found out on Drink Champs that Ludacris, that was his first tour. So I saw Outkast and Ludacris, the Sunrise Musical Theater, on the Stankonia tour. It was the shit. We can do Stan. I think Eminem might be a little aggressive for him. Eminem might be Jurassic 5 Quality Control. I'm going to put that on there. Yeah, Eminem is probably a little too aggressive. A little too aggressive. I should ask him, how much are you into harmonica? Do you want to get him into good hip hop or popular for middle-aged white guys hip hop? Oh yeah, we're trying to get him into hip hop, period, right? So the fact that you're even asking that means that you got to dial out a little bit. We're trying to get somebody who's a well-known personality to many of us, friend of mine, co-host, just expand his cultural palette a little bit so he can say, like, you want to know what I listen to? Is it Moss? Moss Def? Most Def. I liked it quite a bit. The Bluegrass Gin and Juice cover. I don't think Eminem is too aggressive for Heaton. I mean, I don't think all Eminem is too aggressive for Heaton, but I do think that some of the, like, more violent, graphic, rapey stuff is not. At least it's just not. He likes, his old Drunks and Sawdust playlist. A bunch of hard bitten country fellas. The moment where he connected that P. Diddy and Puff Daddy were the same people was comedy gold. Yeah. No, it's pretty good. Pretty good. Jomo's Rap Attack. They got a new album coming out, right? No, I don't think this is for We're Not Wrong per se. I think this is just for our own personal amusement. Get him Shaq's album so it combines hip hop and sports, his two favorite things. All right, guys, we'll be right back. What the hell is that? Oh, does it just start cycling through these? Anyway, sorry about that. Where are we at? What are we doing? It just started when you sat. Interesting. We were on silent dead air. By the way, nothing back from Bonnie and Brian about the fact that the Wildflowers were written about in 2004. Come on. Come on. Guys, what are we doing? What are we doing? All right, let's take a little stroll through the political media. All right, here's... Politico leading with a Jonathan Martin article. Why hasn't Biden called Chris Christie? Another opinion. Can this car race save Joe Biden's presidency? The number one story about his gigantic $25 million fundraiser last night is pro-Palestinian protesters interrupt Biden's glitzy New York fundraiser. Inside the Wall Street Journal's very intense effort to free Evan Gershkovich, which, by the way, their front page today, pretty big statement there. Biden on the anniversary of Evan Gershkovich's detainment. I will never give up hope. But will you give up an arms dealer? Because that's what got the Phoenix Mercury's power forward back. What happened with Republicans trying to impeach Biden? They don't have the votes. Too many left. So they don't have the votes to do it. And so they're going to refer criminal recommendations. But yeah, pretty embarrassing. Embarrassing for them. Pro-Trump fake collectors in Arizona have pled the fifth before grand jury. $60 million in a giant crane, resources pouring into Baltimore after Keep Bridge collapse. So not a lot on Politico. A lot of opinions. But then again, those are the kind of things that just stay up the entire weekend. Trump aims his ire at spouses, children of judges at heart of legal troubles. By the way, this is a little thing. Whenever you see a comma in a headline, it's supposed to be read as and. Biden takes press to task over coverage of his polls. God, this is the saddest shit. The media coverage of polls shows Joe Biden lagging behind former President Trump, and it's getting under the president's skin. While campaigning around the country, Biden has often complained to a room full of donors about the coverage of polls, including how often the press focuses on low survey numbers while ignoring more favorable ones. Because that's what he needs. More of a leg up by the press. The White House and Biden campaign maintain it's too far out from election day to rely on polls, but the president has clearly shown he's annoyed with how the press has handled surveys of voters. While we haven't read a lot about it in the past few days, there's been several national polls showing us leading now. I've read about it. Biden did receive some positive news this week. A Quinnipiac poll released Wednesday found Biden polling at 48% and Trump at 45%. While the question was expanded to include independent and third-party candidates, Trump pulled ahead 39 to 38%. A Bloomberg Morning Consult poll published Tuesday found Biden trailing among several battleground states, but narrowing the gap, especially in the blue wall states of Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin. An aggregation from the Hill and Decision Desk of more than 600 polls has Trump with a 0.9 percentage point lead. Well, we probably haven't read a lot about it in the last few days. There's been 5 national polls. The press, well, I like the press, but they don't talk about it very much. 5 national polls having us leading since my State of the Union address. I just think it's wasted effort for Democrats to bitch about the press, because the Democrats get a better shake from the press because most of the press are Democrats. No conspiracy. Just what it is. Let's see. Old James Carville. Democratic strategist James Carville said that independent presidential candidate Robert F. Kennedy Jr. may hurt former President Trump more than President Biden in a 2024 rematch. I actually think Bobby Kennedy might hurt Trump more, Carville said on The Beat with Ari Melber on MSNBC. Oh my God, they're crediting Mediaite? Eek. Like, it just, whatever. All right, I'm not going to get into it. Trump and his allies have welcomed Kennedy's campaign, suggesting he's going to pull votes from Biden in the general election, which, like, they're saying that because based on the polling, it's true. We just read that previous thing where Biden is leading head to head, but when you add all the other people, RFK Jr. polling the best among them, Trump is ahead. Well, how the fuck are we supposed to take that? Oh, look at this. Ken Buck doesn't give a shit. The Colorado congressman who not only left the House of Representatives, but left it immediately and had some choice words on the way out. He also is one of the people that ousted Kevin McCarthy, therefore making everything far more sassy. Apparently does not like Lauren Boebert, who is running for his seat in Colorado. Buck had choice words for fellow Colorado Republican Lauren Boebert at a recent Rotary Club meeting. I've been asked about her moving across the mountains to run in the 4th Congressional District, and I have not said anything, Buck said in audio played on the radio show The Dan Caplis Show. I've been asked a dozen times. I have not said a single word about it. Buck was at a local Rotary Club meeting when making the comments, according to Politico. Get to the fucking point. He noted several incidents involving Boebert, including one in which she was escorted out of a Denver theater during a performance of a musical for allegedly causing a disturbance. She makes George Santos look like a saint, Buck quipped in the audio, referring to the New York Republican who was expelled from the House late last year. Boebert was asked by the radio show to respond to the audio, to which he said that Buck is so irrelevant and such an embarrassment to Colorado. The voters here are so frustrated with him, and I really don't care what he's asked about me. Buck announced earlier this month that he'd be retiring from Congress at the end of last week instead of the end of his term, throwing a wrench into Boebert's plan to take the seat that he's vacating. A special election will happen in June to fill Buck's seat, meaning Boebert will be running against an incumbent rather than an open seat. Boebert said she will not resign from her current position as the representative of Colorado's 3rd Congressional District for that election. Ken Buck's announcement yesterday was a gift to the Uniparty. The establishment concocted a swampy backroom deal to try to rig an election that I'm winning by 25 points. Yeah. All right, let's see how Axios is covering things. Think piece on nuclear power. There is a really interesting thing with this Minnesota Timberwolves situation. Bunch of rich people throwing shit around. The Fed's go-to inflation gauge cooled in February. An inflationary gauge watched closely by the Federal Reserve showed price pressures eased last month alongside a rebound in consumer spending. The data suggests that more benign inflation compared to the start of the year, but the indicator still shows that it's above the Fed's targets. The latest sign that crushing inflation will be a rocky process. The Personal Consumption Expenditures Price Index rose 0.3 in February, slowing from the prior month. The PCE was 2.5 in February. Wherever you can get good news, that's where they're going to make a big deal about it. Is this the front page? An Apple Vision Pro review in the year of our Lord 2024? I spent 2 weeks wearing the headset while sitting on airplanes, watching movies in bed, and writing articles from my living room couch. The experience confirms and strengthens my initial impressions of Apple's buzzy device. The Vision Pro represents a significant breakthrough, remaining light years ahead of competition, and offers a glimpse into an intriguing future. It's also too quirky and pricey to recommend for most people. A consensus is formed that Apple's headset represents a significant improvement in state-of-the-art for mixed reality, but there are also real questions about exactly how useful it is. I've been waiting for the right opportunity to put the Vision Pro through its paces, and a recent trip to DC seemed like a good chance to see how Apple's headset fares in everyday use. I packed the headset in its $200 case in my backpack, threw in a keyboard and a trackpad, all on loaners from Apple. All that made my carry-on a little bulkier, but it fit. The one device I decided to leave at home was an iPad, which I usually bring for watching movies on plane, but that's where the Vision Pro is supposed to excel. I watched Inside Out in one window while I began to do work in another. The tray table comfortably held the keyboard and mouse. The in-seat power outlet meant that I didn't have to deal with another one of Vision Pro's limitations, short battery life. I'm sure I looked ridiculous, but I managed to drink tomato juice and eat breakfast with no spills. I also purchased in-flight Wi-Fi and started this article. It was easy to multitask with Inside Out still playing as I opened various tabs in Windows. After breakfast and a little writing, I moved the browser out of the way and turned the dial that shifts from augmented reality to various degrees of immersion. Mostly bloking out the world, I put on Taylor Swift's concert movie, which had just arrived on Disney+. I would have liked if she would have said that she downloaded it or streamed it, because I can't ever stream shit from plain Wi-Fi. The best part of Vision Pro is being able to elegantly overlay the real world with the digital one. I'm always multitasking, and it's cool to have several giant displays in my field of view. The eye tracking is so good it feels magical. It allows you to handle simple tasks with just your gaze and the occasional pinch of a fingers, which can be resting comfortably in your lap. A keyboard and trackpad and mouse are still essential to getting real work done, but Apple's Bluetooth devices worked flawlessly for me. Apple's method of addressing those who need vision correction. Okay, I don't give a shit about that. But living in the future is fun for a while, but then it starts to weigh on you physically and literally. The Vision Pro quickly feels heavy on your face. Using it also cognitively is more complex than just watching TV or doing some work on a phone or a laptop. The biggest impediment to regular use I found is that people tend to not want you to use Vision Pro around them. My 11-year-old had no patience for me wearing it, and my partner agreed to watch TV with me wearing it only on the condition that this was the one and only time. Yeah, I don't know. This kind of reads like most of the stuff that I've read in the past. That I mean, look, the biggest thing with the Apple Vision Pro is that it's heavy. You know, they did crack the thing that was probably the biggest problem for them, or just in the field, which is that the interface. But it's heavy, and there's not like a killer app. There's not like oh, I now actually want to use email because I can do it in Vision Pro, or like I've written so much more with Vision Pro. Obama defends Biden as protesters disrupt campaign event. Protesters disrupted. So I was surprised. I didn't know how much coverage this was going to get, the protests at the Biden event, but it looks like it is the biggest thing that has been written about. Protesters disrupted President Biden's star-studded campaign event with former presidents Obama and Clinton in New York City on Thursday night. Pro-Palestinian protesters gathered outside of Radio City Music Hall, and some interrupted the event several times as late-night host Stephen Colbert hosted a conversation with the three presidents, according to reporters at the scene. The demonstrators were escorted from the room, but not before they voiced their anger at Biden's handling of the war in Gaza. According to a pool report, one yelled obscenities about Russia and Ukraine. Per the pool report, Biden responded to one disruption by saying, "That's all right, let them go. There's too many innocent victims, Israeli and Palestinian." He again defended Israel's action against Hamas following the October 7th attack, but said, "We've got to get more food, medicine, and supplies into the Palestinians. We must, in fact, stop the effort that is resulting in significant deaths of innocent civilians, particularly children." Both Obama and Clinton defended Biden and emphasized the difficult decisions presidents have to make, according to the pool report. One of the realities of the presidency is that the world has a lot of joy and beauty, but it's also got a lot of tragedy and cruelty, said Obama. I think understandably, oftentimes we want to feel a certain surety in terms of how decisions are made, but the president doesn't have that luxury. Said Biden's predecessor before protesters again disrupted the conversation. Oof. Obama turned on the protesters and said, no, listen, you just can't talk and not listen. That's what the other side does. And it's possible for us to understand that it's possible to have moral clarity and deeply held beliefs, but still recognize that the world is complicated. How do they not have a better one-liner for him? Did they have to pay for tickets? Yeah. I think the cheapest was like $350 to get in. They raised $25 million last night. This is my biggest problem with the Biden administration, just in general, is that they are really, really, really bad at narratives. Like, they're trying to lean on Israel to do different shit now. They want Israel to have a ceasefire today. And they can't. Now, you could say, oh, well, if we totally cut ties with Israel, then they would sing a different tune. Maybe they would, but we'd be cutting off our nose to spite our face because we don't have a whole lot of friends in that region. So either you're saying, let's go. I mean, at the core of the, divesting ourselves from Israel argument is a very, very, very isolationist viewpoint. Unless people are like really into like, tell me the better partner in the Middle East, I guess would be my number one question. It's a rough neighborhood. $250,000 table where you get to pick 30 seconds to protest. We should not be in the Mideast at all, says JDS. Well, I mean, but what do we mean by in the Mideast? You know, we're a superpower. There's not, no amount of us saying we're not doesn't make it true. So we have a lot of interest in the Middle East, up to and including gasoline. We have trading routes that matter through the Middle East. We have a lot of trading partners. Having a diplomatic presence in the region, I mean, unless we want to go full, isolationist, you kind of have to have. The question is, does the U.S. need a partner in the Middle East? Yes, we need a partner everywhere. Now, what does that mean? What are the limits to that partnership? That's where you get into the more interesting conversations. But yeah, do we conduct business globally? Then yes, we should have a partner everywhere. It means regime changes and famine. I mean, it can. One of my favorite lines, Outcast lines ever is, I made a critic. I made a shit at Droz. She said she thought hip hop was only guns and alcohol. I said, hell no. But yet it's that too. You can't discriminate because you read a book or two. I think that when you get involved in stuff like that, it does sometimes, escalate to certain things, but also it's a chaotic world out there. Ask any country in the Middle East how much we've helped. Well, I mean, you can ask one, Israel. They'll say, yeah, no, thumbs up, big, 10 out of 10, would do again. But I do think, I mean, I don't know. We can get into this world of, how much we are supposed to be involved in various different places. But I don't think that there's any doubt that we should have some involvement. We should have ambassadors in the Middle East. We should be looking to strategically advance our aims. But also, I am not there to help anyone else. I'm there for America to help America. Now, you can say that sometimes America trying to help America means that we just meddle in shit that we don't need to be meddling in. I would agree. Sometimes the juice is not worth the squeeze. But America protecting its interests in the Middle East, I don't think is controversial, honestly. Well, that's the other problem, is that there's always somebody asking for our help. How many of them there are and whether or not we find it to be morally justified is the larger question. But going back to Biden, the fact that he doesn't have a good line on this, he's just kind of swung. First, he was like, oh, there's going to be a ceasefire before Ramadan. Narrator. There wasn't. Based on some of the reporting. In fact, I have not read any reporting that has suggested that there is not a deal on the table for Hamas to take. Hamas doesn't want to take a deal because they feel like they're winning the war, the information war right now. And what they really want is for Israel to be pressured to not go into Rafah. You know, that's what they want. That is a strategic win for them. So why would they make a deal? Why would they make a ceasefire deal? They don't really get a lot of blame if it doesn't happen. You know? If there's reporting that does not suggest that is the current meta, then I would like to read it. But you know, the offers are going in one direction, and it is trying to make it more enticing for Hamas, which would mean that the side that is saying no is not the one that is offering more. You don't say no and then say, also, I'll sweeten my offer. It's usually when the other side is saying no that you say, oh, okay, well, how about this? Looks like we have a wife. A wife is on the prowl. We're talking about Israel and Palestine, so I don't know if you wanna come on. I'm gonna wrap up soon. Do you have something that you'd like to say to the people?
No.
To your people?
No, I just want to sit here and watch you get canceled. Sit here and watch you get canceled. So. I thought you'd be done by the time I was done brunching.
No. Here you go.
Chomp.
Chomp, 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 chomp.
Hey, everybody. I'm here to improve the stream with some great ASMR content.
Yeah. Have you ever thought about getting into that?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
No, there are too many people in the comments that would not be fun.
Yeah. Osama bin Laden wanted America to get tangled up in the region and create millions of people that would hate America. Osama would get the mission accomplished banner. I don't know. Osama bin Laden is a very interesting figure because he became the big bad through the 2000s, obviously, well earned, but not exactly the 5D chess thinker that, we like to make our villains. America likes smart villains. Not exactly a brilliant guy. Old UBL. So what do you want to talk about?
I don't know. I just wanted to come up here and sit and watch you
How's it going?
in the chat. Good. Have
Going
breakfast.
good?
Yeah, it's
so
going
far?
great. It's going great.
Okay.
Sorry, guys. Didn't mean to ruin the stream.
How did you think it was gonna go?
I don't know. It's just different in my head. I was just going to sit here and fuck around on my phone.
Do you not
And,
want to be on camera? You can not be on camera.
Yeah, I don't need to be on camera right now.
Okay.
I'll chime in. Pretend I'm not here.
I'll keep your mic live.
Okay. In case I have something important
in case
to say.
you have something to say. Yeah. But usually when you come up here, it's like, oh, it's time for wife.
Time for wife. Yeah. I'll let you
Ladies
talk
and
about
gentlemen, boys and girls, wife.
I'll let you talk about hot topics while I'm looking for a job over here.
Look at the Middle East before 2001 and after. Okay. It's a rough neighborhood. Rough neighborhood before, rough neighborhood after. Did some fucked up shit happen? Oh, yeah. It's a rough neighborhood. I mean, a lot changed in the Middle East. It's not that it is a region without change. It's just, the rich countries were pretty much the rich countries. The poor countries are still pretty much the poor countries. You still have a lot of the same alliance. I guess ISIS would be the biggest difference in the Middle East from an American perspective. But that kind of mixed up the shuffled the decks terror-wise for a little bit. Do you have any? We were trying to see if we could send a a hip hop song to Andrew Heaton because he professed a tremendous ignorance toward any kind of hip hop and rap music. But you're not really a gigantic hip hop fan. Is there a hip hop song that you like that you would suggest sending to the old boy?
I don't even know because I don't really listen to any hip hop.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if there's like anything that I would know.
Yeah.
Like, or even just any rap in general. Like, what's been shared with him?
Nothing yet.
Oh.
This is more of a thought experiment.
So why are we sending
Because
Heathen
we
hip-hop?
did We're Not Wrong, and on the Patreon episode, we were talking about Puff Daddy because he is in quite a lot of hot water.
Mm-hmm.
And we revealed that he not only had no idea that Puff Daddy and P. Diddy were the same people, but also...
I mean, I just learned something right now, too. So
Okay,
there we go.
there we go. But also just had a very, very almost non-existent knowledge of any kind of rap or hip hop. So,
Dude, I grew up in the cornfields, man. Like, I didn't know any of that either.
yeah.
I was a child of the corn.
What was the most popular music amongst like your peers? I know you got into more of the industrial kind of stuff.
I was
but,
more
like,
into metal and
Yeah.
hanging out with the goth kids.
yeah. So you were more into that, but like, what were the preppy kids listening to?
I don't know, because I didn't hang out with them.
Yeah.
Like, I know there was, like, that was all the era of, I don't know, I feel like all the 90s boy band and Britney Spears stuff was a little before
Yeah.
I got into high school.
But you'd still be in that era, like in when did you graduate?
2004.
Okay. Big year for the Wildflowers.
What does that mean?
This has been a running bit since
Okay.
the we did the Bones yesterday, and Brian was talking about how insane the Wildflower season is this year. That they're just like, it's extraordinarily colorful. They look
gorgeous.
absolutely beautiful, and
We should get photos of you and it just laying in a field. Just
exactly.
like,
And he was talking to Bonnie, and he's like, oh, I think this is the best we've ever seen it. And Bonnie has apparently very prescient memories of, no, 2004 was better. And so we were doing a whole bit on the Bones of like 2004 takes that always end with like, but have you seen the Wildflowers?
oh my God.
It's like, I think the war in Iraq is going a little bad, but these Indian paintbrushes are beautiful. And so you graduating in 2004. It's just another 2004 thing.
That's great. I'm looking at the chat. See, like any of the rap stuff that I would have listened to
Yeah.
in high school would have been comedy. So like,
Yeah.
I have a very distinct memory of like watching on MTV or whatever, Weird Al's Amish Paradise.
Yep.
But I also lived a couple hours from the Amish, so
Yeah.
you know, closer to home. Wildflowers are beautiful though.
Gorgeous.
Gorgeous.
Just gorgeous. I was thinking like, because there's some people that have it in their front yards.
In our neighborhood, there's some people with
Yeah.
blue bonnets.
Can we do that? Is that legal?
I mean, I'm all down for getting rid of all of our grass and replacing it with wildflowers. Yeah.
Wait, don't they need grass? They grow up in grass.
No, they don't.
They don't?
Grass outcompetes a lot of things.
Yeah, but our grass sucks.
It does suck. Because it's in the
need
shade.
Strong.
No, we don't. Grass is so stupid.
I want a fucking Eisenhower lawn. Just military.
You're gonna come home one day and you're gonna just see
the fucking
gravel in our whole
masters.
yard.
See, she doesn't like grass. Why do you hate grass?
Because it's stupid.
But it's good.
I like to
Counterpoint.
grow,
It's smart.
I like to grow food in our backyard.
Yes, but we can't grow food in our front yard.
Pollinators. Grass does not help pollinators. And so we need wildflowers and other things to get them to come in so they give us more tomatoes and habaneros.
Fair point. But also that has nothing to
You
do
really
with...
love you really love
we have
habaneros.
such a small amount of place for grass. Maybe it'll grow this year because it's been so rainy.
Well, Linkin Park. I did listen to Linkin Park because they kind of crossed into industrial.
Yeah. They did a big collaboration with Jay-Z that was like very popular because Jay-Z put out an album, the Black Album, that he also put out a commercially available album with just his vocals. So there was a shit ton of remixes with that album. And one of them was with Linkin Park. And it was like an actual like crossover rap rock, super big hit.
Mm-hmm.
Dare I say that it was the peak of racial harmony in America? Where the Linkin Park guy goes, "Get him, Jay." And then the Jay-Z verse starts playing.
I don't think I know this.
Peak. It was at that moment that they decided we need to make sure that we break up the races. They're getting too close together. Get him, Jay was the height of a racial peace in America. That was it. The logical culmination of the civil rights movement was the Linkin Park guy going, "Get him, Jay," and then Jay-Z rapping the Numb encore verse. That's it. And they were like, fuck it. Nope. Too close. That's what they did. We'll be right back.
Who is they?
I was getting too monologue-y, and so I just
You're just running an ad, or what are you doing?
no, like for whatever reason I just started. I was getting a little monologue-y, and then I would just end it with like, "We'll be right back," and then I just needed a sound of like, hey, like as if we are going to commercial.
Yeah, I don't hear the sound. So.
I know because I don't have the things hooked up. All right. Well, I think we're gonna wrap it up.
Are we?
Yeah. Unless you have another topic.
You never want me on the show. I get it.
What the fuck? You don't want to be on the show.
Well, not with some topics.
You're the one. I told you the topic that we were talking about.
Yeah, I just wanted to sit down. Coming upstairs, I was real winded.
Fucking God, guys.
Real winded,
I swear to God. I just like in office.
No.
That's what, fingers crossed.
No, why would
In
you
office.
wish such
In
pain
office.
and suffering upon your wife?
Oh, in office.
If anyone's got a good remote job for me, let me know.
Just, oh man. You know, there was a time, so much work. So much work got done. And then the wife cloud. With all the blocks. Just sitting down. Oh, fingers crossed.
I hope we get COVID 2.0. We're just going to stay inside. It'll just be like this again.
Oh no. Okay.
This is better. I like sitting over here better. Yeah, it's pretty good.
We cannot be lit together. Like the lighting is just it's either one or the other.
I'm a spooky ghost.
I know.
You also really need to adjust your color in here.
Why?
One, look, you look like a beet. And
Am I not a beet?
You're not. And this looks orange and it's not orange. So you need to take the yellows out of your.
You need to take the yellows out.
Oh my God.
All right. We're wrapping it up. Get him, Jay. I'm going to put that on the board just so everybody knows. Friends, Romans, countrymen, I love all of you, and I will see you guys next week. Who do we got on the show? We got a misinformation guy. He's going to be on the show. And then is there anybody that hasn't been on the show in a while that you guys want back? In fact, no, we might have Kevin Ryan back. It might be Kevin Ryan time. We'll see. All right. That's it.